чертов! Будь ты проклят! Иди, идиот, трахать тебя и всю семью! Говно собачье, жлоб вонючий! Дерьмо, сука, падла! Иди сюда, мерзавец! Негодяй, гад, иди сюда, ты говно! Жопа! Опачки! Будь ты проклят! Дерьмо, сука! Опачки!
Hello and welcome to the Opatchkast, the weekly Tarkov Average Joe podcast. I think I said that wrong. Did I?
Yeah, whatever.
It works. It's
We're
just a bunch of words scrambled together anyway.
We're still new here, getting used to it, right?
Oh yeah. I am Dirty, one of the hosts.
And I'm High Mark.
So, we're gonna talk a little bit of not about Tarkov in the beginning, and then kind of move on into it, like we always do. First off, I want to talk about what I've been watching a lot of lately, and that's D&D stuff.
I thought watching stuff we were gonna talk towards the
Yeah,
end. All right,
I don't care.
You're good. No, you're good. The pre-raids all warm up, right? It can be whatever we want. So no, I get it. Go ahead. Yeah. So you've been watching a bunch of D&D campaigns.
Oh, dude, it's the reason I did it right away is because I can't stop thinking about it, so I just want to talk about it right away.
Okay.
Dude, it's the most entertaining show I've ever watched, and it's not even a show. It's just like 7 dudes around a table just playing D&D, and it's exhilarating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is funny because you've never really played. You had one campaign that you kind of half-assed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've never really played D&D before. No,
I don't know what it is. I think it has to be around this world that's built really well to do to pull me in, at least.
Sure.
I don't know what it is, but watching these people and the way this it's D20, so it's Brendan Lee Mulligan is the dungeon master. Mm-hmm. The way he makes these worlds and these characters is just exhilarating to watch and listen to. I cannot get enough of it.
Yeah.
I think these last like 2-3 days I've listened to over like 40 hours of it, dude. No, I think it's been 30 hours of it. Yeah, I've been playing Lost Ark, doing Chaos Dungeons, and listening to that.
Yeah, so Tarkov has been the last thing on your list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Tarkov right now, it just it hasn't really hit any notes, that I've been wanting.
Looking for, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you thinking right now? I know you haven't been playing as many games. I really haven't been.
Yeah, either, this last week I haven't played a lot. I watched all of Boba Fett. That's what fair. I did instead of playing games. Because I don't watch a lot of TV. You know that I haven't watched a lot of TV in a long time. But yeah, so instead of playing games this week, although I did play some. I watched the full series of Boba Fett and enjoyed that pretty much. It wasn't as good, and I think some of the visual effects and stuff showed that series didn't get as much of a budget as The Mandalorian did.
Yeah. I'm sure.
And like the last 3 episodes or 2.5 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett were basically just Mandalorian episodes.
Really?
Yeah, they focused on the Mandalorian more than they did Boba Fett, so it's kind of odd. But I see there being a huge tie-in coming forward, and I got sucked into the whole lore of Star Wars, the Star Wars universe, and all that kind of shit. So, it's something that I had a passion for back when I was a kid. The first Star Wars movie came out when I was born, literally.
You know what's so wild? Right?
Yeah.
You say that you've been a Star Wars fan since I've never heard you fucking talk about Star Wars ever.
Yeah, well, it was just one of those things that kind of went by the wayside for a little bit, It was something that I enjoyed. Like I mean, one of my literally my favorite FPS probably of all time is a Star Wars game. It's called Dark Alliance. think that's right. Is that right? Dark Alliance, Star Wars Dark Alliance, Dark something. Shit. Now that I think about it, I can't
Oh
even
yeah, let
fucking
me.
remember the name of it. So I think
I
it's Dark
see.
Alliance.
I remember a third-person Star Wars.
No, this was first person because this was back in the day of like Wolfenstein and that kind of stuff.
Star Wars
Dark Forces, excuse me.
Dark
Dark Forces,
Forces,
not Dark Alliance. Yeah, Dark Forces. So
and was it like a Doom or
Doom.
like a
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All single player Doom style game.
oh
But it was all Star Wars. God, it was such a great game. I love that game, man. That was one of the first like because I didn't play Doom. I did play
yeah.
Doom when it first came out, but I didn't get into it super hard. But because I was a Star Wars person when this came out, I was like, oh shit, yeah. And I went hard on this game. I enjoyed the shit out of this game. It was a blast. So
Dude,
yeah,
it looks. You can buy it on Steam right now, man. It's like $7.
is it really? Oh, it's
Yeah.
such a great game. I might buy that and go back and take a look at it then because I love that fucking game, dude.
Oh, dude, the music is fantastic. I'm listening to a
Oh,
little. I
is
was.
it on Steam right now? Are you looking at it on Steam right now? Yeah.
Yeah, 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 dude. That's fucking awesome.
It's
I
only
didn't even know.
$7, seriously?
It's six actually. It's six. $5.99.
Really?
Yeah. Who published this fucking game?
That
LucasArts.
so that's back in the day when LucasArts had their own gaming company. So they were putting out games like this. They had Monkey Island. They had
Oh my
like
god.
Grim Fandango. So they had a bunch of really good fucking games coming out of Lucas what was it called? It was Lucas Games or Lucas Studios, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not. Indiana Jones is one of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoa. This looks like a fucking click adventure.
Oh yeah, it's all tune. That's right. 8-bit sound. That's great.
Dude, yeah, that's fantastic. Oh my god, I didn't even know this was a thing. This is awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah. So that's so like I said, I have been a Star besides the fact that when you guys were around there wasn't anything good to be to come out for Star Wars really. Besides maybe
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic, that was kind of a good game that came out for them, and apparently because we talked about it last week, right? Missing the whole MMO thing. I missed Star Wars Galaxies, and I'd heard about it, but never played it. And apparently, that was a fucking amazing game.
Star Wars Galaxies?
Star Wars Galaxies. Yes, it was a fucking full-on MMO in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, the only one I know is like SWOTR, right? Isn't that
No, that was the one that came
Star
out
Wars
after
Old Republic?
that kind of sucked. Yeah, but Galaxies, you could literally build your own house on one of the fucking moons of Endor or whatever, and oh yeah,
What?
they had fully realized
That's
they had fully realized spaceship interiors that you could walk around in and shit.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. This was back in the fucking what is it, early 2000s? I think is when Star Wars Galaxies came out. Let me take a look real quick.
What? Dude, that reminds me of like when you were always a Star Citizen fan. When it was what was it before? Was it still Star Citizen or what was it?
No, that was back in the day when it was Wing Commander.
Wing Commander.
I played a lot of fucking Wing Commander.
I remember you talking about that, and I'm like, God, that sounds like a game that would be made nowadays. Like
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they're trying to do,
yeah,
right?
they're trying, but they're going way overboard and making it.
And I bought into the hype of Star Citizen. I ended up buying the game, and I enjoy what's out there right now. But it's just there just needs to be more. There needs to be more to bite into, and there just isn't right now. So,
Well, I think that game has a lot of potential. Obviously, even if they deliver on half of their promises, that game will be massive. Even on half of their promises.
yeah.
But it's just like you need you don't want I don't want another EVE Online. I don't want another space simulator. I want a little bit of first person shooter, a little bit of first person exploration,
and
stuff
that's
like that.
and that's all in there right now, but it's all so basic and so it's just not good. I mean, it's there and you can see it, and it's that there is no other game right now that immerses you like Star Citizen does. When you first log in and
Yeah.
you log in and you're just a dude and it's first person and you walk out of your little hab, right?
Hmm.
And you go and you walk through this entire city, you know, and unfortunately the problem is right now the entire city's kind of on rails, right? There's this little area that you can look at, right? And then there's this little shop area and there's this little trading area, right? So and you can just connect to them via some trains or whatever.
Yeah.
But still it's still kind of a full-fledged area. But you walk out and you get on the train and you go to the starport and you call your spaceship and you go onto your spaceship in a hangar and you fucking open up that hangar door and take off and then immediately go into goddamn space, you know, and then
pretty.
and then dock at a space station and fucking do shit and then pull up a thing where you can get, you know, you can get a quest to go take out pirates that are on a gigantic fucking spaceship, the 890 jump, which is just fucking ridiculous, right? And you can fly to the 890 jump and literally evac out on and fly over there, go into that 890 jump, first person shooter, clear that whole spaceship out of the bad guys, right? It's just like, what the fuck? And then you jump back in your thing and go land on a moon and refuel and get new gear and shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? That is a fucking thing that you can do right now in Star Citizen. The problem is it's buggy as fuck.
Yeah, it's buggy as fuck, and the gunplay. I what I've seen, I haven't played any of it, but what I've seen, the gunplay looks so clunky.
It's not great. It's not great. It's okay. It's better than some. It's worse than others.
Imagine Tarkov gunplay in that world.
Oh, Jesus. What I want right now in that to make Star Citizen something that I spend a lot more time with, because I want to spend more time in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
But there needs to be, I think they need to make it to where, because you can mine, right? You can mine all this different ore and precious metals and all these kind of things, either on the surface of a planet or on asteroids, depending on what you're doing, right? So you can do all that. There's certain places that have certain things that you can buy, right, and then sell them at other places. I need that whole economy thing to be a lot more player dependent. Right, because it's not right now. It's just
player driven.
It's just I want those things to be player driven, right? Like there's a bunch of players at this particular spaceport. They need fucking metals or whatever to help repair their ships, that kind of thing. Or they've had a bunch of people go there and now they're low and they're willing to pay more for that stuff. That doesn't happen right now. It's kind of this weird pre-programmed thing that is just kind of okay. It's not. You can do things like coming back to Lost Ark, where you just have a route that you can go and buy here, sell here, then go buy here, sell here, then go buy here, sell here, then go back around. You know what I mean? Because it's always going to be the same. So I want to see that more player driven, economy and things like that, and then I think the biggest thing that's hurting that game right now is the fact that you can only have 50 players on a server. I think that's the biggest issue right now. Yeah. So it just, even though most of the servers seem pretty full, it still feels empty because there's only 50 players.
Yeah, and the world's massive. Like, so does it have like a?
But it's not that massive. I mean, it's massive because it's a fucking universe, right? Or it's a whole solar system. But it's not that massive, because there is only really a few hotspots at each location that mean anything.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a lot of dead, empty space on these gigantic planets that don't do anything.
So, like in World of Warcraft, they have. In the retail game, not the classic World of Warcraft or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They have things where it's not instances, but it's phases. So there's a bunch of servers put together, and then they phase players into each other or out of each other or whatever.
Right.
Is that not how that works?
No.
Or it's just 50 people on a server? And
50 people on a server, period. Yeah. They're supposed to be, by the end of this year, they're supposed to be doing what's called server meshing, to where they're going to have, 500-ish people in a server in a shard. They're calling them shards and different things like that. But basically, you're going to be able to have a North American shard that is all of North America, and they're going to do something very similar, but it'll be seamless where they phase people in and out of those things. But when you do something like in the game right now, you can, if you run out of fuel in your spaceship, you can ping. Excuse me. You can ping and put up. You can put up a bounty for somebody to come rescue you. Either come rescue you or come refuel you. And you can set a bounty and it pings it up so that people that have the refueling thing that's coming out in this next patch next week or something, they can come and rescue you, and they get paid, for refueling you, but also for coming and rescuing you. The bounty that you put up with your own money to come help you. Same thing with medical. If you go down, you can have a medical alert go up and across the whole server, and somebody can come and pick you up. Right?
That's crazy.
So that's all coming. But I think it's still a ways out. I mean, honestly, which is insane to think about, because it's been 12 years, 11 years that game's been in development. So
yeah, it's gonna be a Duke Nukem fucking thing, right?
Yeah, but the problem is
actually
you go and play that game right now, and it's fucking beautiful. And the things you can do in that game, you cannot do in any other game. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the fidelity that they're doing it at is ridiculous. And I don't know. I mean, that's part of me wants to say that it's vaporware and it's fucking horseshit, right? Because of what they've done and the amount of time that they've done it. But then you look at it and you go, Jesus. And if they can finish all of these back end tools that they've been working on tirelessly, they're going to be able to start pumping out solar systems a lot faster, because that's the other thing that's supposed to be coming out when server meshing comes out, is the second solar system. So you'll be able to travel between solar systems and do shit like that. So
that's crazy.
I don't know. I want a game that, because one of the games I loved back in the day was Privateer, Wing Commander Privateer. And it had something similar to that, but it wasn't multiplayer, so it wasn't player-driven economies. They had a economy, and you could do all sorts of shit with. But you could be a bounty hunter or a trader and all that kind of stuff in that game. And I want that just in the open world craziness that is Star Citizen.
Yeah, in that game, could you swing through those? Being a bounty hunter or being a whatever, could you swing through those seamlessly, or did you have to pick different traits or whatever it was?
No, you could go, if I remember right, God, that's been a long, you're asking me to go back a ways. You could go to a space station, and they had basically a bounty hunting board that you could go and select a bounty that you wanted to go get, or you could just go to the trading area and buy a bunch of goods to put on your ship to go to the next one.
Oh, that's cool.
Shit like that. And then you could also intercept, because this is all NPCs, like I said, because it was a single player. You could intercept like trade routes and fucking blow them up and steal all their gear and then go sell it and stuff. Yeah.
So I think
it was a crazy game, but that's what I want. I want the next level of that to be Star Citizen, and it looks like it's going to be that and more. But the question is, will it ever come out?
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about games that are not Tarkov so far, which is fine. Sometimes we got to talk about that, especially when you get a little bit burnt out.
Okay, and I know we're going to talk about it, and I can roll it into Star Citizen, because I'd love to get you, and Cameron already has Star Citizen, but I'd love to get you involved in Star Citizen. I want to get Mom involved in Star Citizen, but it's already a gigantic game and a big ask for somebody.
Yes.
Coming in, and I think that's kind of what our topic was this week, right? Was new players coming into the Tarkov world, right? Because this game is a lot to ask of a new person, and we've been kind of helping Cameron out a little bit on this coming in.
Yeah, this game, it at surface level, it doesn't look like a lot. It looks like a shooter. It looks like another shooter, honestly, with another looter shooter, like not like Borderlands, but like kind of like you go around, you kill people, you get their loot, blah blah blah. But when you dig deep and you actually look at like all the gun systems, all the mods that can go on guns, what can and can't go on guns, if you put if you put 3.66 in a gun that in a mag that could go into an AK, that gun doesn't work anymore.
300 blackout in a 5.56 gun.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah,
like, what the fuck? I thought I put rounds in this mag. I thought this could work for this gun.
Right.
So, I was. It's crazy that Star Citizen, excuse me. When you look at that game, it's massive from the first point of view. In this game, it doesn't look massive, but
Sure.
then when you start digging down into it, it's huge.
Oh, and then you start getting overwhelmed. I mean, and Jelena is a prime example of that. We've been trying to get her to play this with us for a while. She loves realistic first-person shooter games.
Yeah.
Right? She loves that style. Like, we try to get her to play all sorts of different games. Oh, those look like cartoons. I don't want to play that game because it looks like a cartoon.
Which pisses me off. I don't
Right.
know,
It's just aggravating,
story.
but whatever.
Yeah, that's another
but
story.
whatever. Completely. But but you look at this game. This should be a game that she loves. It's a slow-paced, realistic first-person shooter.
Yes.
Right? The two things that she loves. But the two things that she bitches about whenever we want her to play it is it's too slow.
Yes.
Even though she plays slow as fuck, right?
Which is wild. Yeah,
and it's too complicated, she says.
Yes.
That there's too much there. It's too complicated, for someone like her to play, right? Yeah. And I tried to make an argument with her or talk with her the other night about this, about how I don't believe, and you tell me whether you believe this or not. I don't believe that Tarkov is any more complicated than Rust, which is the main game she plays right now.
Yeah,
it's just complicated in a different way.
Yes, I would say Tarkov is a little bit more complicated because of everything mechanical with it. I think just in that factor, it makes it a little bit more complicated. But everything else, Rust, I mean, the way you have to make your base, it's like you got a honeycomb, you got to know where you got a honeycomb, you got to know where all your weak points in your base is, you got to know where you got to go for in the water treatment or whatever the fuck you go in that game now.
Yeah.
It's a different type of complicated, but it's still extremely complicated.
Still super complicated. As a brand new player that goes into Rust and they don't know what to do, it's like, okay, I want to go, I need stone for my base.
Yeah.
Well, you go, there's rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
And I got a pickaxe, I'll go hit and you don't get shit, right? You got to find the right kind of rocks, right? You got and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know, it's just trying to convince somebody new to play this game that if they just would give it a chance, would fall in love with it.
Yeah. Well, fall in love with it. I don't know if I've ever fell in love with it. Let's be honest.
Bullshit.
I fell in love. Okay, I fell in love with it, but I don't love it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I hate the fucking game, but I love it at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, there is a period when you're a new player in this game. There is a period where you want to pull your hair out 24/7, and you just have to get through this hump to be able to start liking it again. Start getting out even with like a 10% survival rate. And then you're making a little bit of money each night, and you're like, dude, I actually had a W for a night. This is wild. This is not normal. Yeah. So it's...
I attribute it a lot to like playing golf. You've played a little bit of golf, right? I played a little bit of golf, right? Golf is a game, especially for an amateur, for a guy that doesn't play it very often, goes out there as a duffer, right? You go out there and you play a few times, a couple dozen times a year, whatever the case is. Golf kicks you in the nuts.
100%.
Constantly. Yeah. You go out there on the driving range and you're hitting balls, right? And you're like, okay, maybe this is working. Okay, well, that sucked. What did I do different? I don't know. Shit, it felt like the same swing, but that son of a bitch went 300 yards to the right. Why? Yeah. Right? So that game just constantly kicks you in the nuts. And then you hit the one shot.
Yeah.
You let that son of a bitch rip, and it's right down the pipes, and it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And it's like, holy fuck, that's why I play this game.
Yeah,
right?
There's like a wave of euphoria over you.
Yeah, it just washes over you, right?
You're like,
and that's,
oh god.
And that's fucking Tarkov too, right? When you get
100%.
that unbelievably good raid where you killed like 2 or 3 guys, you know, get a bunch of gear and make it out, and it's like,
Yep.
oh fuck, this is the best fucking thing ever. This
Hmm.
game is the best thing ever.
Yeah. I remember. I
And then the
remember.
next raid you go in and you get kicked in the nuts by a fucking Terminator scav. And
Yeah.
you're like, this game sucks my balls.
Yeah, you die to a Tazr scav, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
This
bullshit.
game sucks my balls. Why do I play this piece of shit?
I remember first getting into this game, and we came from a battle royale background.
Oh yeah,
Um,
PUBG,
so
totally. Yeah,
yeah, PUBG, Apex Legends. Actually, I think yeah, whatever.
Apex
The-
came after. It was
yeah,
we were PUBG hard, dude.
our PUBG like yeah, we were big. We were on the second
Pub,
alpha test, right?
yeah, yeah. You and I
Yeah,
both got in the second alpha test. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, we played that game since like the beginning of the beginning, but
yeah.
I
We got keys from Player Unknown himself.
yeah, we did
Remember?
actually.
Yeah,
It was one of
for
his
the alpha
tweets.
tests.
Yeah, it was one of his
yeah,
tweets. I remember I got one, and I'm like, "You got to try this right now, Dad." And then he got it
yeah,
too. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you got it. That was perfect. But yeah. So we were coming from a battle royale background, and I'm like, I don't know if there's anything that can get my oh my god, get me more jitters, get me more fucking hyped up
Yeah.
than a battle royale win, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then I get a good raid in Tarkov, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't
Yeah.
sleep tonight. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I mean it is the craziest thing, especially when you're new. Nowadays I'm numb because I've done too many raids and I don't care anymore. But
It's because you're a fucking junkie and you're always chasing that first high again,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
Come on, man.
100%.
Just one more time. I swear to
Yeah.
God.
It's
I
gonna be
swear to
different this
God, it'll
time.
be different this time. Just give
Yeah,
me one more. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I, I just remember the first W that I got, and it was the biggest. I had the jitters afterwards. It was a crazy raid. You're struggling to get out. You get out, and it's like probably wasn't even a crazy raid. It was probably like 500,000 rubles, and I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I can only see up from there here, and then the next raid you die. But it's
Oh, yeah.
just it's a crazy feeling this game gives you, and I want everybody to experience it, but it's hard to get to that point where you can experience it.
Well,
You know?
and that's why we want to do, or we do stuff and trying to get Cameron in, right? So Cameron's played a few raids with us. I
Yeah,
mean, and a few raids spanned over a year and a half, right?
yeah.
Because he got I got him one of the codes that was for like a month, free month,
Mm,
um 2 years ago or whatever it was.
yeah.
And he played maybe 2 or 3 raids with us way back then. And then about 2 months ago, we finally convinced him to buy the game, and he played like a raid or two with us, and then didn't anymore for some reason. Don't know why.
Yeah. I can't
Uh,
remember. I think it's well, Cameron hasn't been playing many games lately
no,
anyway,
that's
but
true. Yeah, he hasn't been
yeah,
playing anything at all.
yeah. But
So, so then just recently he's like, because he's the one that's editing the podcast, right?
Mhm.
So he's the one that's uploading it for us. He's the one that does all. He's the one that did the background that you're seeing now. He's the one that did the whole intro, built the whole intro for us and everything. So he's been watching
not the music, obviously.
not the music, yeah, just all the other stuff. He implemented it and did all that. So, so he's been wanting to play more and more. So we got him in, and we had a raid last night. Was it last? It was last night, right?
Yep.
Where we went to Woods.
No, it wasn't last night. It was the night before.
Night
It
before.
was
Anyway,
Thursday.
yeah. So we went to Woods because we were trying to get him Jaeger's note, right? And so we went down and we're kind of fucking around and talking about, because he was talking about the podcast and the backstrap, because we talked about that a little bit last week. Anyway, we got our way down to Jaeger and we hear Rashala going off. And so this guy, well, and myself, we both need to kill Rashala. So we just started running for it, right? And Cameron's following Colin, trying to follow the W holder. and starts getting into a fight and just gets blasted by Rashala, right? Just gets head tapped by fucking Rashala, and he's like, dude, didn't see anybody, and I'm fucking dead, and it's like, yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens with these fucking AI sometimes, man. It's just, and if you don't know where to look, anyway. So then we're like, well, because of what we're talking about today, we don't want them to just bail out, right?
Yeah.
So I had to go cook dinner. So you and him did a
factory run.
Factory raid.
Cameron likes factory because of how small it is, how many fights you get in the short amount of time you actually get to play it, which is totally fair. I mean, that's why a lot of people love factory.
Yeah, exactly. And you brought him in a kit? Is that what you did?
Oh, dude, I brought him in a kit. I brought him in a fucking kit. I spent probably a million on this kit. I gave him a Tears. I gave him. Oh God, what did I give him? A USEC armor. I got him the. Oh fuck! I forgot the name of the
Alpha
rig.
It's Alpha
Rig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him an Alpha Rig. I got him a Sega 12 with a drum mag full of flechette, 4 of the 10-round mags, a Salewa, a painkiller. It doesn't really matter about the meds, but full of
and a ZSH helmet too, right?
And a ZSH helmet with a
face mask.
Face mask. I got him. Fuck. What else? I put so many mods on that fucking guy. I got the suppressor on the front of it.
Yeah, the big square suppressor. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a really nice. I think I got them the RK2 on the front for a 4 grip. I mean, dude, I spent a good amount of money on that gun, and he survived. I died. I was running a Vector 45, kitted too, but I was just like, there needs to be.
But there was so hold on, but you stopped there. But what happened is you guys heard a fight happening at Med Tent, right? In factory, and so you guys go and push it, and after it had started quieting down by the time you guys got there, and you pushed it and got murked, right? You got face tapped, and then Cameron was behind you and ended up killing that guy, right? So there was 4 looted bodies in that little spot between the door and the med tent door, just piled right there, and he's sitting there going, holy shit, and he's trying to fucking loot shit, and I'm watching him on because he's sharing his screen on Discord. I'm like, no, don't get that, grab that, don't, and he's like, and as he's doing it, scavs spawn and start running through med tent, and he turns the corner and blah blah kills one. He's like, oh fuck, and he gets back to doing it and turns a corner, blah blah, kills another one. He's panicking. He finally relaxes. He's like, okay, I got everything I need. I go, okay, now you got to get to extract. He's like, well, where's that? And we're telling him where to go, and he's heavy as shit, right? Because one of those guys had another Sega 12 that's just like the one you brought him. So he's just full of flechette and Sega 12s, and he's got to be, what was he, like 50 some odd kilos or something?
I think he was 56 kilos.
50, yeah, almost 60 kilos.
Which is huge for the
even for us. Even for us, 60 kilos is a lot, right?
Yeah.
We've only leveled up strength a certain amount, right? He's goddamn level 2 or level 3. I think he's level 3 right now.
3. So he probably has maybe level 2 strength.
Yeah, maybe. And he's trying to get out, and I'm like, no, don't, because he starts running. I'm like, don't run, because you're not going to regain stamina. Yeah.
It's stuff
so
like
he was
that.
panicking. We told him where to go to get out because he'd never extracted from factory before, and he gets out and he's like, and yeah, exactly, and he's smiling. You could tell he was smiling. He had a good time. He really enjoyed that, So those are the W's we need to do more of when we get new people in. I think factory's a great place to just chill instead of trying to push
quests
so fast. Just go factory and get the person comfortable with with gunfights, killing scavs, looting, right? All that stuff, because you start walking out into customs or woods, and it's like, Jesus, you get overwhelmed just by
Yeah.
how big everything is, right?
Yeah.
And where to go and what to do. And so I think maybe spending some time with a new person on factory for a few days, a few raids, dozen or so, to help them out, to get used to that stuff, and run their scav runs every single time too, because that was
Yeah.
the other thing, so
Yeah,
that you don't
I
feel as stressed out about it.
yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I haven't even really thought about that, but I mean that makes total sense. What I hear from a lot of other like big streamers and people is just like run factory, get used to PvP, and you're gonna do fine for the rest of the wipe, or you're gonna
Mhm.
do fine for the rest of the time you're playing Tarkov. Because PvP, even though you don't get PvP fights every single time you get into a raid, it's the 99% of the reason you die most of the time.
Yeah.
It, PvP is the reason I die most of the time. Let's be honest, unless it's a fucking boss scav. But
Oh, you mean like today?
yeah, like today. Don't get me started. God, that made me so salty.
We'll talk about it. I think we should bring up audio stuff a little later after we're done with this. So
Dude. Audio. But yeah, I think running factory, and it's the most like any other FPS games is gonna
yeah,
be factory.
yeah, I think
It's
that's
gonna
the
be factory
I think
raids.
that's the key too, right? Because that's the one
Yeah,
that's closest. That's the one that's closest to something like a COD, or anything, any of those games, right? Any
100%.
any FPS game, because it's a map, a manageable sized map. Even with the
Yep.
expansion, it's still a manageable sized map that
Yep.
you run around, a couple raids, and you understand, okay, this where offices is, and there's 3 levels to that, and then there's this area, and then there's a little underground tunnels that do this, right?
Yeah.
So you get an idea, and it's a lot more manageable, like a regular FPS style game map would be. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that way map knowledge isn't such a burden, because that is a burden in this game. I
Yeah.
mean, and even to me to this day, like, because I never did it, I don't do it. If you ask me to scav raid customs and we get a certain extract, I have no
Yeah.
idea where it's at. I have to
I
go to
can
the wiki.
guess.
I have to go to, yeah, I could guess, but a lot of times I have to go to the wiki to look it up, because
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, right? And we've been playing this since 2018.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a scaver on customs, but
Customs, yeah, exactly. Never did scavs on customs. We from day one, our scavs we spent on interchange.
interchange. Yeah.
Right. It was always
Yeah.
scav interchange. So that's
Yeah.
where we would do our scav runs at, and just the extracts for scavs are the same as for PMCs on that map.
Yeah.
So you never had to
Yeah.
learn anything new.
Nowadays, I'm a non-scaver. I refuse to scav. Fuck scavs.
I've been running a lot of scavs lately because I've been
If you're
spending a lot of money on hideout.
if you're running scavs, listen, you're not getting XP, bitch. All right.
It's
If
true.
you're running scavs, you're not getting XP. You're
That's
not leveling
true.
up your
It's
character.
absolutely true. It's absolutely true. But you're also not losing any money. And when you're screwing around in the 100,000 ruble range, you gotta go for it every once in a while.
True. But I don't ever get down there because I'm that good, bitch.
Oh, shut up! You are not that good
Then why am I at 12 million rubles?
because you don't play.
No, it's because I don't spend any money on my hideout. That's why.
It's true.
I can tell you
That
why I'm
is
at 12
true.
million rubles.
And you even said, what's hilarious too is you said at the beginning
dude,
of this
don't
wipe
even-
that you
don't
were
even
gonna do
bring
the
that up.
hideout. You
Don't
were gonna
bring
do the
that up.
hideout,
Oh,
and you started right away with upgrading hideout, and then you just stopped.
yeah.
Completely stopped.
I think because I look at what Bitcoin's at right now, and it's fucking useless. I look at what
It went up. It went up.
Oh yeah, what 50,000 rubles?
It's up over 300,000 now.
Yeah, the last time I remember was 250,
Yeah.
but still, it's like I just don't see the point. I'd rather play the fucking game other than sit in the hideout. That's just me.
You don't have to sit in it though.
Oh, dude, you do. If you want to like, if you watch
This
Air
fucking guy.
Wing Marine or whatever, I love Air Wing Marine.
Oh
But
yeah,
he,
Air Wing Marine's great.
he's awesome. But he talks about this hideout stuff, and it feels like he's in his hideout more than he's playing a fucking raid. It's ridiculous. This game, you're supposed to go shoot people, and this fucker's in his hideout most of the time. I just don't understand it.
Nah, it's not that bad.
It kind of is. Since they've added the hideout, it's made making money a lot easier, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. Fucks with the economy, and you get those people that don't ever want to spend their gear, really don't want to spend their gear because they're getting all this money through fucking hideout, so they don't ever get gear through the game.
I think this is just your weird rant that you're going on right now, and none of this shit. I think you're one of the very few people that thinks this way.
Well,
in all honesty, I think you're on your own on this one. I think there's people that are like that it's not a priority for them to upgrade their hideout, but they don't think it's a detriment to the game like apparently you do.
I don't think it's a detriment. I think that it changed the game in a way that I don't like. But it did change the game when it came out.
But it's not like, okay, I don't think it makes as much money as you think it does.
100% it does.
No, because they talk about like the fucking Bitcoin farm, right?
I'm not talking about the Bitcoin.
Well, but the Bitcoin farm is just a example. I think there's only one fucking thing in that whole thing that makes any real money, and that's the laboratory, because it doesn't cost that much to upgrade the laboratory, and you can sell some pretty decent shit out of there. But when you look at all the rest of the stuff, maybe the workbench doesn't cost that much to upgrade either. But the med one costs a fortune, right? The Bitcoin farm is a fucking fortune. You know, I don't see any of them being really profitable when you take into account all the shit you have to do, plus you have to pay for gas, you know.
True.
So I don't think it makes you as much money as I don't think it's as big of a hit to the economy as you're making it out to be.
Maybe it's my fucking weird brain the way it works, but but I swear I think it when it came out it was cool, but I feel like it wasn't what I wanted, and they still haven't added group hideout, so fuck me.
I think that's a big one, right?
Yeah,
I want there needs to be some kind of clan.
I agree.
You know, there needs to be some kind of clan system. You know, like fucking. We'll jump back to Lost Ark because that's what you've been playing a bunch lately, and the whole guild, right? There's a guild system. There needs to be a clan or a guild hideout, right? Or a clan or a guild stash that you can trade with your clan members, right? Or whatever the case is.
Yes, and make it to where if you don't want to do it like that, or if you're worried about real money trading or whatever the fuck, you make it to where you can't put the crazy stuff in there. But if you want to give your friend
not even that, I think that's fine. You should just have to like what was the Lost Ark thing, right? We had to spend how many days as rookie clan members?
I think it was 3 days or something.
Just
like that.
up that. Make it a month. You got to be a clan member for a month before you can use the trading the clan scav box or whatever you want to call it, right?
Maybe a level cap, you think? No.
No, cuz real money traders and people like that are going to be the higher levels anyway.
Yeah,
right?
but
that's what I'm saying. If you make it a month, a full month, you got to be part of this clan for an active member of this clan for a full month. Then the real money traders aren't going to want to do that, you know, and nobody buying real money trader shit's going to want to be part of a fucking clan for a month before they can actually get their shit.
Here's the real question with the real money trader shit. Is it really that big of a problem? Is it? I don't think so.
So on the surface, somebody uses real money to buy weapons, armor, rubles, whatever the case is.
Yes.
That on the surface level, I don't think is. I mean, it is what it is, right? People are going to do it, you know.
Yeah.
And you look at any game that has that, you know, some games profit off of that, right? Like Lost Ark, right? You can pay real money to get crafting gear and shit like that, right?
WoW does
You
it
know,
too.
and then other games have stayed out of it, but they've not been a big deal. I think where the problem comes is the fact that when it becomes profitable and it becomes legitimately profitable, people try to find the fastest and easiest ways to make the money, and that's where the cheating starts really coming into fruition. And so I think it's a step thing of, no, the real money trading isn't actual real money trading isn't that big of a deal, but because of it, cheating is that big of a deal.
They should, what they should do is this flagging system. I've said it 10 times already. But you just flag items, and especially over a certain amount, flag the 2 people that received it and dropped it, and then you watch their activities for the next week or what they've done in the past, and dude, you just fucking ding them, and the cheater and the real money trader goes away. They have to buy a new account or whatever the fuck it may be, but that's I don't see a problem in that, and I don't see it being hard. I'm not a fucking coder. I'm not whatever it is. Right. But I don't. A billion other games do the same thing. I don't see how it could be more difficult than that.
Yeah, I don't know, and I think, like we talked about it at our very first week, there's a lot of things that they've done to try and combat things that have either gone away now, right, or so they're not an issue, but those things are still in the game, or they just don't have an answer to for whatever reason, and this is one of them. Unfortunately, this is one of them. And it's something, because this is the same thing, because we talked about this before. This goes hand in hand with just being an open market, having the flea market and open market.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We can't have nice things because of douchebags. You know what I mean? We can't have a true free market because of the douchebaggery that goes on with this real money trading and the cheating that goes along with that.
Yes, but my problem is that we can't have that. But so what they do is they put this shitty fucking Rite Aid Band-Aid over it, and they don't actually think of a logical, oh my god, I can't think of
solution.
They don't think of a logical thing. Solution. Thank you.
Right.
Solution to aid it.
And I think this would be a different conversation.
Yeah.
If the game was completed.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Because do you divert time and energy of X number of guys to come up with a solution for this kind of stuff, or do you keep those guys head down working on finish the core gameplay of the system, and then allow them to do it after everything's all done? Well, you know what I mean?
I understand, but there's a counter argument. They've already spent so much time on economy. Nikita talks about economy so much, doesn't he? He talks about the economy of the game, everything about it.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but obviously he spends a lot of time thinking about it. So
true.
So I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, honestly, that's if this was a completed game and out the door, right? Or there was there was a fully, this is the game, and this is what it's going to be, and it's out the door now, right? Then there should be, they should be spending a lot of time and energy into not Rite Aid Band-Aiding it, you know. But I think that was their thing, is it's okay, we can Rite Aid Band-Aid this fucking issue we got going right here with this, and we can continue to push through on what we're trying to get done, and then we can come back and look at that later. But the problem is that has been the modus operandi. Ooh, big words.
I don't know what the fuck that means, dude. That's really big words. For my simpleton brain, I don't understand that shit.
Standard operating procedure.
Okay. Yeah.
Modus operandi. This has been their standard operating procedure for a lot of shit.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's
a big problem with the game.
That's the biggest problem with the game right now, right? Yeah. Fucking AI, fucking audio, You know, all this stuff
Just
is
Band-Aids over Band-Aids.
throw a Band-Aid on it real quick while we finish doing this and this and this. And then it's like, well, now you've got so many layers that you're going to have to, when you come back to that Band-Aid, what the fuck are you going to do? Shit can and start over is the only thing you really can do.
Yeah, because
shit can audio and start over. Shit can AI and start over, because there's so much shit that's new that you can't, that probably has no hooks for what you currently have in there, you know, that you just have to.
Yeah, that Band-Aid's so dirty it started an infection, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think audio is a prime example of that.
Yeah.
Audio right now is a fucking shit show.
Oh god.
We were playing with a guy first day on the new wipe today. We were playing with Richard. Richard's played with us a lot in the past. He's been off and on this game since probably about 2018. I think he bought in about the same time we did.
Yep.
And this is his first time on.
Me and him bought EOD together. He actually bought it for me. I still haven't paid it back for him. Sorry, Rich.
God damn. Wait, have you paid him back for the 1080?
Yeah.
Oh. Rich, you got to be a little more fucking aggravated on that shit, dude.
That's for you, Richard. Sushi, bitch. I owe that motherfucker so much money.
Oh my god, dude. Anyway, he got in.
That's his rent.
He got into the game for the first time this patch, and he kept hearing the global fucking grenade bug or whatever the fuck it is. That's what I'm assuming it is. I actually don't know what it really is, but hearing those, and he's like, "What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?" And I'm like, "Oh, this the audio bug. It's been around since the beginning of this patch. It's been a fucking mess." And then we're at rolling up out of new gas, and he hears a fucking a scav voice line, and we're in between gas, not new gas, sorry, that's different map.
Yeah.
We're between gas and power station on that hill there, and it sounded like the dude was right next to us, and because he spun, he's like, "What the fuck, there's a scav here." And I'm like, "Nah, dude, that was that global thing again. It's just with Scavline, sometimes it does it too." And he was panicked. He didn't understand. He's like, "Jesus, what happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. Audio's a fucking disaster right now."
You know what's funny? It's like we're so used to it now because we played a lot this way. We're just like, it's normal. It's just a normal thing. It's just get used to it, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a terrible way to think about things, but that's just it's the way Nikita trains us. And then he's gonna fix it, and then we're never gonna notice that too.
We're never gonna notice it, yeah.
Because it's the way it should have been in the beginning. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We talked a little bit about open world last podcast.
True.
You said that there was a little bit of news. I haven't heard of anything, so let's see.
Okay. So again, talking about the open world stuff, and Nice Guy talked about it on one of his little short videos. That now when you go to Reserve, and you get up on the dome, you can see from Reserve now. You can see all of Lighthouse. You know, you in the distance, it's all there now. Really? It all renders, and it's all part of it, just like you can from Reserve. I mean, from Shoreline.
Yep.
Right, and you can also see customs, all the customs now, and off in the distance you can see woods and streets.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it's.
So my question is, from what you saw from the video or whatever you watched, did it look like they were quite a distance out, or did it look like it was a manageable distance?
It looks like it was. Well, I don't think he really showed that. He talked about it because I don't think he. Let me pull up this video here real quick because it was super short. So let me pull it up and then I can.
Yeah, because. If it's like a DayZ map where it takes 2 hours to run from one city to the other,
no, it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
what I don't want.
I forgot it's Noise Guy, not Nice Guy. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Let me see.
That's been my whole apprehension of open world so far.
Sure.
Is that is that it's gonna take 2 hours to get from one city to the other, or from one map to the other, and then I'm gonna hate open world.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's completely unmanageable, the distances.
Really?
He does show looks like he is on the one of the little towers,
Mm-hmm.
at the edge.
Yeah.
Um and you can see off there's so the road that goes through the checkpoint by manhole cover, right? There's a little
Yeah.
checkpoint right there by manhole
Yeah.
cover. That road then is outside of the map at that point, right?
Yeah.
Right when it goes right through there. So there's at the very end of that, where all the little cave things are, whatever they are, the little bunker things out there
Mm-hmm.
on that end of the map. There's a tower right there at that end,
Yeah.
at that corner right there. He was
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Right
that,
in the
and
corner.
so you can see that road that kind of is off to your left as you're looking out towards Lighthouse, and that road
Uh-huh.
looks like it continues on down the line towards Lighthouse, and you can see all of Lighthouse. You can see that broken bridge that's out there and all that
Really?
kind of shit. Yeah, so
That's
it's
cool.
all completely visible within what's it called now? And then now he's looking at what it looks like. Oh yeah, you can see way off in the distance. You can see one or two of the massive skyscrapers as part of streets.
Huh.
So they're all rendering in now from all over the place. So it looks like they're trying to stitch all this shit together, like for real now. Now
Wow.
whether that means you're going to be able to just flat out walk from reserve all the way to streets through customs and woods and that whole shooting match, I don't know.
Yeah. Factory. Oh, you have
But
to probably go in a factory.
you can see them all there, so it's going to make it feel like one big world now instead
One
of
big world.
these individual maps scattered, you
Yeah.
know. So I
That's.
don't know.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, if you feel more immersed, who cares? The guys like me who don't give a fuck, don't give a fuck. But the guys like, I don't know, Richard, because he's a weirdo, likes to feel immersed in a game. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
no, I
it's
do
not a weird
too.
thing. It's not a
I
weird
do
thing. But
too. Yeah,
I
I
just have
want
that.
that.
Yeah, I have that. I don't know. I'm stupid and just like I want to shoot somebody. That's all I give a fuck about. But ever,
Yeah, but I want to
ever.
be able to go. I want to be able to walk from streets and go all the way down to fucking Lighthouse. I think that would be cool as fuck. I think it would be amazing as to walking through all of these maps that we've played as individual maps this whole time and be able to go through the whole thing.
You
Maybe
know,
I don't know. Maybe
you know what's
that's
kind of
not what I
cool?
actually want. What?
When the Black Ops, what was it, Black Ops 4, what's the one with Blackout?
Yeah, I don't remember which one
I
it
don't remember,
was, but
but
anyway,
Blackout had the towns, some of them were maps,
we're
and
maps
it
from
was
the old game.
from
Yeah,
from the old games and stuff, and it was
yeah,
so cool to walk through. I guess I could see that from that standpoint.
sure,
I mean,
yeah,
it was parts of maps, it wasn't full. I mean, I'm sure there was a full places that were full maps, but
yeah,
walking through those places and you're like, dude, I've played in this area before, but I never
yeah.
played this part of the map. Like, how the fuck does this work? And then you realize, oh my god, this is blah 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 from
Right,
this Black Ops.
the mansions,
Yeah.
where
Oh
you
yeah.
go to walk into the mansion. It's like, holy shit, this is the multiplayer map, and on
Yeah.
this one mansion here. Yeah, it was fucking cool.
It
Yeah,
was cool.
I think that's kind of what I'm looking for there. I think that would be kind of cool, but
Yeah.
we'll
I
see. We'll see
never.
where they're
I
going
never.
with it. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. I never put that together though. That is kind of cool. And uh, now I'm thinking about it. I still don't want it, but it sounds a little bit better.
You're still not convinced,
No.
you're okay with it now, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit. It doesn't sting as much anymore.
Sure, 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 sure.
Yeah, but so I think we're right about an hour, aren't we?
We are. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to talk about anything you've been watching lately, or I know we talked about the D&D
We
thing, but
we
that
talked
I
about a
wouldn't.
little bit about the D&D, and I was watching the Boba Fett stuff. No, the only other thing I've really been watching, I started watching No Pixel Guys again a
Did
little
you?
bit here and there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, that's another thing, like the D&D, like I was saying. It's just there's so many storylines that are
So
intertwining
many.
and going everywhere. You're like, you have to watch everybody's playthrough like 2 times to figure out what the fuck. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
great.
It's insane.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not a
No,
bad thing.
no, it's insane, dude.
Yeah.
You know, trying to keep up with it all. So no, I started watching a little bit of that here and there. Um, you know, for I'd have it up on my TV in my office while I'm working. So I only catch bits and pieces of it, which can make it a lot worse because then it's like, wait, what happened? Wait, what are they doing now?
I gotta rewind this. I gotta stop working and figure out what the fuck is going. Yeah.
So yeah, that, and then so that's, you know, watching hasn't been a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot of watching, you know, of stuff recently. Yeah. I've watched a little bit of Elden Ring. I still don't think I really want to play the game. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it looks okay. It looks kind of cool, but it's just it does nothing to grab me right now for whatever reason. I don't, and I'm hearing more and more people say that this is probably going to be game of the year. You know, it's unbelievably good. And it's just like, I don't know. It just doesn't grab me for whatever reason.
Yeah, the only reason I want to play is because my boss was like, "Have you played Elden Ring yet?" I'm like, "Nope, but I'm going to." And now I'm like, "God, I think I gotta play it now because of that." I mean,
and he doesn't play games, does he? Or does he?
No, he plays a little bit. He's a filthy console peasant, but yeah, I know. But yeah, it's just I just never
I shouldn't
liked
say
Soul.
that anymore. Apparently, apparently Elden Ring plays a lot better on both the Series X and the fucking PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it's
than
because
it does
they
on
don't know
PC.
how to because they don't know how to port a game. But
True. Yeah, they've never been good at porting games.
no. But I just haven't been a Souls fan ever. I played a little bit of Bloodborne. It was fun the first boss, and then I'm like, I could go play something else.
Yeah.
It's a game it's hard and it's fun. It's fun that it's hard, but it's like
I already have a game that kicks me in the nuts constantly.
yeah. What's the point? I already cry every night about this game. I don't want to cry about fucking Elden Ring, do you?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly. I think, like you said last night, shooting people's more fun than hitting them with a sword.
I agree. I mean, yeah. It's just getting one taps feels a lot better than bashing people with their fucking with a weird ass long ass sword that you shouldn't physically be
able to pick up.
Yeah.
So but, the other things I've been doing, I got my racing rigs started getting it set up, but I got to get an actual seat for it. I'm using a kind of one of our living room chairs, you know, padded seats, and it's just I gotta go out and just put together an actual rig, you know, for my system, because I've gotten to the point now where I need it. So, but pulled downloaded Dirt Rally and, you know, Rally 2.0 and iRacing, and started playing on some of that a little bit with the rig and feeling it out. And so trying to get that all set up now that I'm in this new office. I want to actually get it set up for all the things I like to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be, and hopefully, probably not next week because I'll be gone all next week. I'm going to Seattle all next week. So I won't be able to do a lot of stuff, but next weekend, maybe before we record, I don't know. I'm going to get my fish tank behind me so I can finally get rid of this blur screen. I fucking hate it. I know you hate it too. But I'm going to get rid of the blur screen and have my gigantic fish tank on the wall behind me.
Yeah, maybe I'll have a green screen. I gotta figure out I'll figure out later
how to do it.
Yeah,
how to do it. Yeah.
How to hang it up, because if it's not blurred, all you see is like fucking washer, dryer.
Well, yeah,
like,
I was gonna say, here you live in the laundry room. You when the kid came, you got pushed out of your computer room and stuck in the laundry room. So you're in a nice little corner in the laundry room that's just yours.
Yeah. I tried to convince Acacia to put the kid down here. She didn't like it as much.
She didn't like that idea.
No, she didn't like it as much.
Oh,
I tried my hardest not to move, but it didn't work.
The last thing I want to talk about is I started playing League of Legends again. I actually did start playing it. Remember we talked about before that the multiplayer of Lost Ark made me want to play League, and yeah, I've only been playing ARAMs just because I just been.
Then you're not actually playing it.
True.
That's not actually playing.
True. Well, the game is installed, and I'm opening it up, and I'm playing a version of League of Legends. The only reason the reason I like playing that is because it's the brain dead thing, and I can turn off my brain. I can just play that and listen to music and not worry about shit. And I'm a music head, so
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing.
Yep.
In my spare time when I'm not
I was
trying
thinking
to make money in Tarkov.
that's impossible. What are you talking about? But I was thinking about going back to either Counter Strike or Valorant. I want to go back to Counter Strike, but Valorant looks like fun right now. I don't know if you've seen much of it, but it looks like a blast. No?
Downloaded it. I've got it on. When I did the league, I downloaded Valorant too, so because it's all part of that new Riot client. So, yeah, when I know somebody walked in, they don't realize that when the doors closed, I got my camera on. Anyway, no, so yeah, I probably jump on and play some Valorant. I'm not opposed
Yeah,
to that.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do it anytime soon. It was just a thought. I'm like,
Yeah.
I could play another shooter, or I could just grind Lost Ark until my brain goes into mush. And
I
it's
just
so far it's been
no desire to
flatter.
do that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I haven't
It's
even
that.
got on. I haven't even got on to do dailies because it's like, I just had no. I'd rather go play League than
Yeah.
get on and do dailies in that game right now.
I did dailies twice yesterday because I stayed up so late playing the game that I could do dailies again. It was it was one of those.
Shit.
I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, man. It hits that Diablo
The
grind
Diablo thing on you. Yeah.
thing in my head, and it just fucking I just keep on going and going and going.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that the D&D thing, like I said, has been fantastic. If you ever want to watch a great D&D thing, there's a few. They do a few. Dimension 20 is what they call it, the D20.
Mm-hmm.
They do a few things on YouTube, and then I got so into it that I bought Dropout. I'm not a big fan of Comedy Central, but or not Comedy Central, College Humor, but
Oh, do they do them on that or something?
yeah, so
Oh, okay.
it's College Humor's streaming network or whatever. There's only
Oh,
two things
okay.
I ever watch or listen to on that, and that's the D20 and Game Changer. It's like a game show. It's really good, but
Hmm.
yeah,
I
that's
might throw something on my drive over to Seattle tomorrow.
dude. It's a great listen because they always it's you don't need to watch it. I like watching it because I like seeing their faces when they roll a D20 or a fucking nat one or whatever. But
Sure.
yeah, nat 20 or nat one.
Nat ones are better than 20s.
No, they're not.
No, for
For reaction.
reactions.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for
100%.
reactions they are.
Yeah. They're like, oh god, this is a nat one. And then you see Brendan Lee Mulligan, the dungeon master, and he's like fucking foaming at the mouth. He's
Yeah, I know.
yeah. I got you now, fuckers.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a fun thing to watch. I love
Yeah.
it a lot. So but yeah, I'm glad we did this today. I didn't know if we are gonna be able to because you're getting the fuck out of here early tomorrow. So
Yeah, I gotta drive over there, and then I'll be over there all week, so I won't be home probably till late Friday. So unfortunately, no Tarkov for me this week. So I might actually get on and do dailies because I could probably do Lost Ark on my laptop.
yeah, do you have enough room for the fucking game? 70 whatever gigs it is.
Shit, I didn't think about that. And
Oh,
if I'm gonna load it, I should do it tonight before I go to
yeah.
bed.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it. A like
Hey,
and a comment is
like and
appreciated,
comment,
but not
subscribe,
yeah.
whatever. Um, appreciate it. The numbers that we've got already are
Dude.
we thought maybe the two of us would watch it to to make sure that it sounds all right and everything's good.
Yeah.
And then maybe Cameron and Caleb, once in a while or whatever, a couple of our friends
Yeah.
once in a while. But the fact that there's pushing 40 some odd views on our first one, or 50,
Yeah.
almost 50 views on our first one now.
Is it already almost 50?
I think, well, it was
God.
40 something the last I checked. So I don't know.
I feel so cool.
It's crazy, and we're all jacked up about 40 views, right? You know, and
But
there's guys out here with millions and shit. But I think that, I mean, I didn't think anybody would watch this shit. So the fact
oh
that we got
hell no.
40 plus views on our first one, it's amazing to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. I know it's not a lot for a lot of people, but it means a lot to us. Even though there's no comments, there's a couple likes though. We got like 6 likes or something. I don't know.
Okay,
But
cool. Well, we're gonna keep doing it because I enjoy talking about this stuff. I enjoy our preamble, and I love this fucking game, even if though
Yeah.
it frustrates the shit out of me every once in a while. I love this game, and so and like you said, we wanted to have a view or a thought of the normal guy that gets to do 1 or 2 raids a night, you know, a couple 3 raids a night, kind of a view on it versus every other podcast out there's guys that play the game full time.
which isn't a
You
bad
know.
thing. Yeah.
No, it's not a bad thing, but you don't get to. The normal guy doesn't have a view of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yep.
So
Yeah, that's why we did it. So
Cool.
again, thank you guys. We really do appreciate it.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace.